Hi folks, so I was going through this book that I've got. You see that? And this book is obviously all about Manchester, and it's looking at it through the eyes of music. So you've got like pictures of early day musicians and all that sort of thing, do you know what I mean? Sort of like 70s and all that. I guess all the way up through to the sorry, brain's not working. And it's also got like pictures of Hulme as it used to look and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, so I was looking through this book. It's by a guy called Kevin Cummings. So that's the guy, that's the author of this book, and it's called Manchester, Looking Through the Light Through the Pouring Rain. It's a gorgeous little book actually, I like it. Love the cover, love the front cover, it's cool. Anyway, so I was looking through it, and don't know if I've mentioned this yet. I think I have, but I'm not sure. But anyway, so I'm supposed to be going back to Manchester on the 2nd of December until the 4th of December with Joanne. We've booked the hotel, we've now bought the train tickets. Well, Joanne has. Well, I'm going to help pay for them as well. Just obviously I haven't got any money to do so at the moment, so basically Joanne's doing all the thing at the moment, she's buying all the stuff and what have you. But we pay for the hotel when we get there on the day, so that's booked but not literally paid for yet until we get there. And hopefully by then I'll be able to pay for some of that at least, if not pay for my own part of it at least, you know what I mean? Anyway, so the point is that like on the 2nd of December we're going to Manchester. She also wants to have a little trip to Liverpool. I've been to Liverpool a few times. Back when I was younger, when I was living in Manchester. I haven't been there for a good few years now. And I've been on the River Mersey, and I've travelled on a ferry across the Mersey. But anyway, so she wants to have a look at Liverpool. Last time me and Joanne went there, back to Manchester, we went to Blackpool, because she'd never been to Blackpool before. So this time she wants to go to Liverpool because she's never been to Liverpool before. So yeah, fair enough, because it's only 35 miles roughly from Manchester to Liverpool. So it's a great city, it is. I've always liked Liverpool, always have done. Might be a mank, but I still love Liverpool. It's still a nice city, and I've had a few good friends from there as well. I've not seen for years and years and years, so I have no idea where they are or what they're doing. Anyway, so like I say, so that's what's going to be happening on the 2nd. Obviously, I say obviously, definitely be doing some vlogs, and especially when we get to Liverpool, because I've done a few in Manchester, although I'll still do a few when we're there, but actually I've never done any videos in Liverpool, obviously, well, say obviously. So that'll be pretty cool. So definitely take the camera with me, and definitely be doing some vlogs. So anyway, like I said, I've been sort of going through this book and looking at some pictures, and it got me thinking. Got me thinking about, like, some of my history. So I'm going to put a little video together with some photographs that I got. Some of the photographs are from this book, so I'll put the sort of links or whatever in there, I suppose. But yeah, so there's some pictures of a place called Hulme in Manchester where I used to live, and that's got some very poignant memories for me, Hulme. But anyway, I'm going to put this little video together of the pictures that I found both online. Well, actually they're all from online, but some are from this book, like I said, but some are from other sources, which I'm not entirely sure what them sources are exactly. But I'll try and give credit to wherever those sources are, just in case. I don't want to, you know, I hope it's like comes under fair use. I don't know. Anyway, so as I said, I'm going to put a little montage of photographs, and I'm going to do some voiceover commentary on the photographs to give you a bit of context into the photographs. Right, okay, so the actual video bit, this bit, I'm going to leave for now, and I shall catch you guys later. And like I say, hopefully on Monday we'll get out and about and we'll do some out and about stuff. But in the meantime, you know, just have to put up with being in here. Right, okay, so I'll see you guys later. Bye for now. Hi folks, so yeah, I just wanted to do a quick potted history of my time living in a place called Hulme in Manchester. So this bridge, the photograph we're looking at now, this bridge, I used to use this bridge going to school and coming back from school. And one day I was crossing this bridge with my dad, and he fell over. My dad had angina. He also had a false leg. He was 64 at the time when this happened, and it was a snowy day like that, exactly like that day when that picture was taken. Anyway, eventually somebody came along and helped him up, but it was quite a scary moment for me. Anyway, yeah, so that bridge holds a few memories, and the block of flats you can see in the distance there, that's where I used to live. Not that exact block, but right next to that block of flats there, that's where we used to live. So we'll go on to the next picture, and I'll tell you all about the next picture. So this is a picture of a dual carriageway which leads basically to the Mancunian Way, and from this angle I can't quite tell. I think actually, yeah, looking at it, I think we're actually facing Moss Side. So that's in the direction, if we were we're standing on that same footbridge, the one I was just telling you about. Whoever's taking this picture is standing on that footbridge, and the direction they're facing, they have Manchester town centre at their back, and they are facing towards Moss Side, and the block of flats where we used to live is the one that's sticking out on the right hand side, or at least the right hand side. I'll put some arrows in this, I think, and then help to point it out. So yeah, that's where we used to live, in those flats there. So as you can see, it's a very snowy, wintry time in there. That motorway, by the way, is still there, and so are these bridges, but I'm not sure about the footbridge actually. I don't know if the footbridges are still there. They might be, but all of those flats on both sides have now gone. All of those flats have gone. Right, okay, so on to the next picture. Okay, so now we can see a picture of one of the crescents. These were quite a reputation, even back in my time, and I think they were built somewhere around the 60s. I think late 60s, maybe. I'm not sure, but they were a bad design from day one. And they had a lot of issues, a lot of problems, both with the design and various other things that cropped up with these things. And so anyway, yeah, there's a lot of people were not happy with this, with the crescents, for lots of different reasons, and they were quite scary places to be. You know, I think there was about 4 of these crescents. They all had different names. I couldn't tell you what they were now, but yeah. Not the happiest places in the world to live, believe me. Okay, so let's go on to the next picture.
Okay, so this is another picture of one of the crescents, and again, you know, you can see it. I mean, it's interestingly, from that picture, the way it's lit and everything, apart from maybe the foreground, kind of gives a sense of it, a dilapidation a little bit, but in the distance there, it looks quite pleasant, doesn't it, with that little tree as well sticking up there. Maybe gives it a slight air of like, oh, it doesn't look that bad, but believe me, sometimes photographs can be deceptive. But as you can see in the foreground, we've got a lot of grass growing on the where those I don't know what do you call it? Cobbles. They look like cobbles, whatever they are. So there's grass and weeds growing through there already. Look. Anyway, so yeah, that was another one of the crescents. So let's move on to the next picture. Now, I actually like this photograph, not because of the content necessarily. Well, yeah, I guess of the content in a sense, but just because it looks so broody, so foreboding in some ways. You know, those dark clouds rolling in, and because it's in black and white, and it's very dark, doesn't it, sort of thing. But again, picture of one of those crescents, and as you can see, even from this photograph, it does look a little bit sort of, you know, I mean, I don't know when this was taken. I have no idea. I'm not sure if I can find all the sources for these photographs or not. And it's now nearly 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm not sure if I want to really actually go researching exactly where I found all of these photographs. Anyway, we'll see what happens. Right, okay, so let's get on now to the most significant of all the photographs. There's 2 of these photographs that are much more poignant and relevant to my situation, or to where I lived. Right, okay, so on to the next picture. Okay, so this photograph here, where you can see all the police horses lined up, that block of flats just behind them, and again, I'll stick some arrows on here so you can sort of, you know, pinpoint it a bit more accurately. That is the block of flats that I lived in. We lived on the ground floor. Although these are maisonettes, so the second floor is actually the bedrooms of the flats on the ground floor. So they're actually maisonettes. Anyway, so if you go along from the first police officer in the line there, so 1, 2, 3, 4th police officer along, and you'll see where the walkways are that join onto the next block. Well, if you walk underneath there, into there, you'll come to where I lived. Now, you'll see also there's a in between the windows of this block of flats, sort of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 windows along. If you count from the top top set of windows, count along till you get to sort of a light grey panel. Well, my flat was after that panel, if I remember rightly, and so it might have been that one just past that first policeman's head. That actually might have been our flat. I can't honestly remember exactly. I can't pin it down any better than that, to be perfectly honest with you. I think it was probably that flat there, but I'm pretty sure, or fairly certain, it was after this, where these grey panels are going down the middle. Again, I'll highlight these things so that I can point it out better to you, so you know what I'm talking about. And I'll try and pinpoint exactly where our flat was, but that was the block of flats where I lived, and again, some very poignant memories in that flat particularly. That is actually where, sadly, my brother died. So that's where I lost my brother. He was 16 at the time when he died. So, as you can imagine, it's got some very strong memories for me, that place. Okay, so let's move on to the next picture. Okay, so now we can see the other side of that where those police officers were standing. This is the opposite side of that. And again, I'll put some arrows in. So, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, as I say, I think you can just see my flat, which is again the bottom right-hand corner of the picture is where my flat was, where we lived, where I lived with my dad. I lived there for about 2 years, I think, up until the death of my brother. And as you can see, it didn't look like this when we lived there. This was years later, this photograph. This was round about the 80s. I guess about 84 maybe, I'm not sure exactly. So this all came about after we left, well after we left. So it didn't actually look this bad when we lived there. This was all the new age travellers that started moving in, because these flats basically got condemned towards the end, and so basically people were just moving in there, squatting and what have you, because some of the flats still had power. I mean, some of the doors were, you know, apparently the council even stopped bothering with it, you know what I mean, because they knew it was going to be knocked down and bulldozed eventually, sort of thing. So they didn't even bother keeping it secure or anything. People just lived in there and what have you. I forget how long that went on for, but yeah, so that is the sort of area that I grew up in, or one of the areas I grew up in. Okay, so I'll leave it there for now, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a comment, please subscribe, and I shall catch you guys soon. As I say, hopefully there'll be a trip out on Monday, and we'll go somewhere, hopefully somewhere I've never been before, but we'll see how that goes. Alright guys, so thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys soon. Bye for now.